Youth Venture was created in 1996 when we realized that the change-making skills of empathy, leadership, teamwork, and entrepreneurship are critical skills young people need to master to thrive in the 21st century. These skills are best learned in the formative teen years by actually taking an initiative, starting a venture, building a team, and leading change. We learned this from the experience of our sister organization, Ashoka, whose network of leading social entrepreneurs all had their first experience of initiating change when they were teenagers. By inspiring, investing in, and supporting young people to discover and develop the changemaker within, Youth Venture aims to create an entire generation of young people as changemakers. Over the last 10 years, Youth Venture has launched over 6,000 youth-led social ventures engaging over 150,000 young changemakers in 23 countries. Our vision is to create a culture that will enable all 1 billion young people to become changemakers in the next 10 years. We believe that the tipping point toward a culture of youth-led social change will come at about 5% of the global youth population, or about 50 million young changemakers. Towards that end, through our new licensing program, we are mobilizing 1,000 youth interfacing organizations, universities, civic organizations, corporations, schools, and faith groups to make it their priority for their youth networks to become changemakers. In order to do this, we have developed a program called the Dream It, Do It Challenge that facilitates cohorts of young people through the steps of identifying a problem and launching a social enterprise to address it. To date, we have approximately 50 organizations licensing and running their own Youth Venture programs. What makes Youth Venture unique is that we are not only licensing a highly effective youth program, but that we are also building an entire ecosystem to make it a priority for people to be changemakers. We are making the case to key stakeholders in a young person's life, companies, parents, educators, and more, that it's in their own best interest to increase the number of changemakers in society. For example, any company that employs more changemakers will be more successful through greater entrepreneurship, creativity, productivity, and teamwork of their staff. Our strategy is to shape an ecosystem that increases the supply of changemakers in society by licensing our program, and in parallel, creating the demand for changemakers by working with leading companies and universities to integrate change-making into their recruitment process. Youth Venture's effectiveness lies in the transformative experience that young people have in starting and leading their own socially minded ventures. This experience instills in them the recognition of their own power, the self-belief to lead positive social change for the rest of their lives. Independent evaluations have shown that youth report that their venturing experience has led them to feel more confident and motivated as leaders and to feel complete as a person. We've also been successful in influencing a larger society to value changemakers. For example, we have introduced the idea of changemaker talent, and a number of employers now utilize college-based youth venture boot camps as a key part of their campus recruitment strategies. We track success along 3 dimensions: impact on the individual, the community, and society. On the individual level, we measure how youth venturers have mastered the 4 critical change-making skills. What impact has this had on key standard success metrics, such as high school graduation rates, entry and graduation from higher education, and self-confidence. Secondly, we measure the impact on the community. How have the changes created by the youth-led ventures positively impacted the community? How many people have they impacted, and how sustainable has the change been? And thirdly, we measure the impact on society. How has society shifted? Does having a concentration of change makers improve a society overall? We track this by looking for lower crime rates, greater entrepreneurship, and more jobs. What people don't realize yet is that youth venture is also a concept for a new way of thinking about what we value in people from the standpoint of educational achievement, work readiness, career success, and civic engagement. In a recent study by Oxford Economics, which surveyed 352 HR professionals across prominent multinational companies, the number one skill that these employers seek is the ability to master change. We are spreading the message that the best way to deal with the rapidly changing world is by being a change maker. And the best way to become a change maker is by taking initiative, addressing a social need, and creating positive change. Youth Venture's biggest accomplishments are the young people themselves, who have gone on to have profound impact on millions of lives through their ventures and through their work as change makers in their careers. We have shaped an ecosystem that values and encourages change makers, ranging from over a dozen major employers to over 20 universities to hundreds of schools and civic organizations. These groups have all embraced their young people as change makers and have helped them successfully start and lead social change ideas. One challenge has been with traditionally minded schools and civic groups that do not see value in young people taking initiative and changing things. For many parents, launching a successful venture does not compare with getting good grades and eventually getting a job. This has made it very challenging for young people to pursue their dreams of solving social needs without the support of their parents and teachers. We have made progress towards helping parents and schools see the link between change making and future success, but we still have a ways to go in helping society understand why this experience is so important. With additional resources, we would build our capacity in three key areas. First, we would like to support successful youth venture programs for our licensee partners by improving our licensee training, quality control, and additional tools. Secondly, we would build our evaluation capacity to do more in-depth and robust impact measurements, which will help attract more licensees, employers, and university partners. Finally, we would better market our vision and value to prospective licensees. Parents are critical to young people becoming successful change makers and an essential partner for us as we build this world where everyone is a change maker. Even with the progress we have made in linking the value of change making with college and career success, we still have to contend with the fact that they still have a hard time with their own children being change makers. We have developed a toolkit for parents to help their children become change makers, but we do not yet have a distribution mechanism or full-fledged product to roll out to parents nationally or globally. We would benefit greatly from increased capacity to fully build out this critical part of our work.